But Romanian Venture Forum is not just about panels, opinions, talks, even if they come from experts. So right now you will have the opportunity to hear the conclusion of a study on the private equity market and venture capital from Deloitte, done in partnership with ROPEA. On the stage will be the man who is coordinating partner of the financial consulting practice at Deloitte Romania. He worked on more than 300 projects, from acquisitions to transactions involving non-performing loans. Let's welcome on stage the partner in charge of financial advisory at Deloitte, Mr. Radu Dumitrescu.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
I have to tell you that I've never been on a stage of a theater. I've always been there where you are sitting. So for me, it's also something new. My name is Radu Dumitrescu, and I'm partner responsible of financial advisory practice of Deloitte in Romania. And I work in the M&A environment since 2006. Let me first try to see how this thing works. What button should I? Okay, it worked, but I don't know what I pushed. Mă poți ajuta un pic? Dau înapoi. Okay, so the direction. În spate, în față. În față pe stânga. Da. Okay, hope to be able to fix this thing quickly. So, what I will present to you right now for the next around 15 minutes, there are some data which I extracted actually from two reports. One report is the one made together with ROPEA, the Association of Private Equity in Romania, and this report actually represents an annual analysis of the activity of the private equities in our country. This collaboration with ROPEA started in 2022, covering first year 2021, and now we are continuing with the year 2022. Indeed, we are maybe quite advanced in 2023, but for a lot of the data, we still need to wait and obtain them maybe a bit later in the year. And thank you, ROPEA, for making us part of this study with you. The second study is related to the sentiment that the private equities are having, and we are organizing, and actually it's more like a questionnaire that we are sending to the private equities every 6 months. And in the summer and then in the winter, we see how is the sentiment of the private equities in the region at the sea level. And I somehow combined these two studies in my presentation. I guess, no, I'm not pushing anything. I guess I should stay this direction. This is the end of the presentation. Nu vreau și să duc magistru să... Unde e laptopul? E aici undeva? Sau... Ok, ăsta e primul slide. Da? Și zic eu. Da. Okay. Okay. So this is the first slide, and basically in here, what we could note is the fact that there is, I would say, a significant increase in the expectations of the private equities to have a fundraising. And basically, it's somehow aligned with what has been discussed also a bit earlier in the main panel. So basically, one of our conclusions in the report is the fact that we have a more optimistic sentiment of the private equity in the summer of 2023 compared with the winter of 2022. And this is extracted from the fact that there is a decrease in those expecting to focus on the portfolio management, which normally this happens when there are challenging periods and private equities are considering to focus on their current investments, trying to make sure that they don't lose money, that they have the possibility to pass on these challenging times. We have a decrease in this sentiment, which we believe it's an optimistic sign. And then we have also I would say an increase, not very much, but still there is an increase in respect of the, okay, this is the second slide, in respect of the intention of the funds to actually continue and invest in transactions. Exactly, so this is the first slide. Now, specifically for Romania, and this is somehow considered and extracted from the study that we have made with ROPEA, the local fundraising is mainly focused on the venture capital funds. Why is that? Because private equities are actually raising the funds at the regional level, and as you already know, a lot of these funds are actually domiciled in Poland or in surrounding countries and covering the CE region with their offices over there. As I said, I've never been on this stage. It seems that the distance between me and the computer is too big or something. I don't know. Okay, good. So the next slide speaks about the fact that according to the study, we have here in our region, and Romania makes no difference compared to the region, we have in our region normally mid-sized transactions. And basically the private equities that were inquired, they all said that they expect for the near future, for the dimension of the transaction to remain almost the same. As Daniela was mentioning earlier, yes, we also see huge, significant ones happening from time to time, like Mid-Europa's recent exit, but most of our transactions actually in here are of, I would say, middle size, and the expectation of the funds is to remain at the same level. In terms of the venture capital investment, as you can see on the right down graphic, basically what we notice is that in 2021, 2022, there is a significant increase in both transaction value and number of transactions, which is actually, I would say, a very good sign for our market. The data for 2022 is not yet final, so it's still in progress, and we have some estimations in here. But what I wanted to show is the fact that venture capital is actually growing, and we expect to grow even further in the future. Okay, on this slide, what we present is the intention of the investors to either buy or to sell or to actually have more or less an equal buy or sell element. Basically, the dark blue, it's the intention to buy. The light blue, it's equal. They will buy and sell. And the gray part, it's the intention to sell. What we can notice is the fact that the intention to sell tripled compared to winter of 2022, which from our perspective means that funds are seeing an opportunity to exit. Funds are seeing the fact that the gap between expectations for price or expectations for transactions has been reduced in the region. The fact that those who are, who intend to buy are a bit less than the previous period is not necessarily a negative element, because as we can see, still more than half of the investors are expecting to actually enter the market and do acquisitions. I want to go to the next one. Okay, I pushed twice. there is a delay in showing the graphs. Bear with me for a second. Okay, what we show in this graph, it's actually extracted again from the study that we are developing together with ROPEA, is the fact that actually investments in Romania with respect to companies are not necessarily in the past period being significant. And here I'm not referring only to VC, I'm referring to both private equities and VCs. As we can see, the fundraising also shows a bit of sufferance in here. As earlier in the earlier panel, it was mentioned that it's not necessarily the best time for raising the funds. What we believe is that the period for raising the funds will actually be increased. In terms of investments, we see them as a bit decreasing compared to the GDP, but it's of course an element of adjustment. GDP also increased, maybe also investments decreased, maybe it was not necessarily the best period for the private equities in the last 2 years. As you see, 2017, 2019, the numbers were actually more significant. Also, part of the investments, as I was saying earlier, the private equities are raising the funds regionally, and part of these funds are also allocated to other countries in the region, like Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary. The expectation, though, for 2023, because we don't have yet the data, but the expectation that we have is for these numbers to actually increase, especially in relation to Romania. I'm telling you this because I see what is happening currently in the M&A market. Of course, it's a market with ups and downs, and today we have more requests for jobs in the M&A activity. Tomorrow maybe there are a bit less. But what I have noticed in the past couple of months is that the interest in the M&A activity is increasing. We have more and more requests for due diligences, for mandates to buy or to sell companies in here, and that is why I expect the numbers for the next year to increase. And this is the last slide which I have in this presentation. It's trying to show how the companies in which private equities or VCs are investing, how they are performing, let's say, compared not necessarily to the industry, but in a trend. Basically, what I present in here, it's on light blue, the investments that ROPEA members are having, and in the dark blue, it's the total investments of private equity, so companies in which private equities have investments. If we look to the employees part, which is the upper chart on the slide, we will note that in 2019 and 2020, the number of employees increased. 2021, 2022, the number of employees decreased. This is most probably due to the effects of the pandemic on the companies and on the respective businesses. There is no comparison. I mean, I'm not looking for a comparison between ROPEA members and the LPs. I'm just trying to show the trend, because at the end of the day, the ROPEA members are part of the totals that are shown in there. Although the number of the employees seem to have decreased between 2021 and 2022, if we look to the additional net turnover generated and additional EBITDA generated by these companies, we notice an increase, sometimes more significant, sometimes a bit less significant. The reason for these increases is that actually the private equities are looking, when investing in their companies, to have them improved from an efficiency level, to have them improved from a profitability level, to sometimes take them on other markets, and basically it shows on the graphics that are on the bottom of the page the fact that even during this period the numbers actually are not looking bad, they are not decreasing, and private equities and venture capital investors are doing their job. I have listed also a couple of names on these slides. There are also a couple of names on some other slides. I'm sorry for these technical interruptions that we had. At the end of the day, also these studies are available, one on the ROPEA site, two on our site. And basically, as a conclusion for this presentation is the fact that when private equities or venture capital companies are investing in local companies, what they bring, it's a potential for development, a potential for expansion in the region, a potential for introducing innovative ideas. The local companies are actually benefiting of this partnership, are having most probably more and more own funds available to development and available for new acquisitions. And even if there is an exit at the end of the life of the fund, those companies benefited throughout the life of the investment of the private equity to have most probably a more accelerated development than the companies, average companies in the respective industries. So that is my presentation. I am more or less in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Radu.